Happy New Year and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kate with the Creative Coast, and it's Tuesday, January 5th. Today is our first lunchtime topic of 2021, and we're working on Destiny Mojica-Taylor, and we're so excited to have her. She is the commercial account manager with Savannah's scDataCom, and scDataCom, it's a nationally recognized small business specializing in design, installation, and service of physical and electronic security systems for both the public and private sector, for both public and private sector clients. So Destiny's full-time focus is small business security and helping local businesses find success with security solutions that fit their needs. So today, Destiny is going to be talking with us about reimagining the remote workspace. We've all made that switch. Most of us have made that switch to remote in 2020, and a lot of businesses are finding that, hey, this works for our team. So Destiny is going to talk to us today about new and tech tools and how technology has been keeping up in the last year and how we can utilize those to improve our work relationships and how our team functions remotely. So I'll turn it over to you, Destiny.
All right, thank you, Kate. First, I want to start by saying Happy New Year's to everybody. I know that we're happy to be out of what seemed like a decade of events in 2020 alone. So congratulations to everybody that made it since then. Today, we're going to be talking about when it comes to reimagining the office workspace and to ensure safety without sacrificing productivity, enterprise companies and small businesses are looking towards new solutions to help them pandemic-proof their business. And I'm happy Kate was able to introduce us a little bit, but just wanted to give you a little bit more introduction about where I work and what I do, so you don't just think I'm some random geek off the street that's just saying, hey, let me just talk about tech stuff. scDataCom, well, actually, let me get my presentation up. That might be helpful. Let me get that one. And present. Can everybody see it okay? I'm just going to look at the chat and make sure we're all good here. I believe we are.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So a little bit about scDataCom in my slide. There we go, perfect. scDataCom is owned and operated by a mother-daughter duo, Kathleen and Elena Ford, and it was started in Savannah in 2013. We're proud to say that we've been running for 7 years right now, and this small business has accomplished very big things since then. We've worked with some of the big local names such as Candler Hospital, the Port Authorities, and as well as your favorite local shops and restaurants, and have even traveled to over 20 different states in performing security installations for heavy hitters to include the U.S. military. And giving you a little bit more intro, we are nationally recognized security experts, proudly woman and veteran owned, and we're headquartered here. So Savannah is home, and not just for scDataCom, but for me as well. Just to let you know about me, my name is Destiny. I am from Savannah. When I'm not usually slinging cameras or to small businesses, I'm pretending like I'm a chopped chef and also traveling. So even though I love traveling, it's something about staying home and seeing Savannah develop that just really gets me going. Because I love Savannah so much and the businesses that make up the community, it makes my job of helping our small business community find solutions for their concerns even more enjoyable. And even though the pandemic has shifted our perception on traditional offices, that's not stopping us with where we're going. So speaking on small businesses, 31% of small businesses in the US currently are non-operational. And now I know you guys see the Facebook 2020, and I just want to self-assure you, it's not something I just pulled off of my news feed. It's a 35-page white paper I'll be happy to share with anybody at the end, or if you want to, feel free to contact me. But this is a study showing that 31% of small businesses in the US are still currently unoperational. And the pandemic has hammered the small businesses across the United States. This is an alarming trend for an economy that's trying to rebound from the deepest and fastest recession in our history. Normally, small employers are a vital source of hiring after a recession. So with them accounting for the half of the economy's output and the outsized proportion of new jobs, we can safely say that small businesses are the engine of our economy. So what are some of the concerns that small businesses in Savannah have besides cash flow? Even though there's a lot of different things that we can say professionally and personally that we've all been facing, here are the top four. And the top four are complying with government and health authorities, using flexible remote management tools, utilizing the ability to automate processes, and implementing touchless technology. So the first problem our businesses are facing are complying with new regulations. With the CDC, there's updates happening all the time. We can definitely say that it's hard for businesses, if not just regular everyday people, to keep up and keep track. So we know that we need to wear a mask. We know that we need to stay 6 feet apart and reducing capacity, but it's easier said than done, right? Like how do we keep track and hold our employees and our patrons accountable? Well, one of the solutions that we have came up with, and not that we've come up, that the industry has already had, but now is taken an even more front-facing place in what's happening now, is our occupancy tracking tools. Occupancy tracking tools are also great resources for reconsidering an office layout and for managing the new occupancy restrictions for retail, restaurants, and hospitality establishments. And as most of you know, if you're here from Savannah locally or just tuning in, this is one of the largest proportions that make up small businesses here in Savannah. So how does occupancy tracking works? We put a camera over the door and it establishes a threshold that lets you add and subtract people as they're coming in and out. And this data can be used in a couple of different ways. You can use it towards your facing your customers, where you can display it on your website or even on your monitor, showing visitors how many people are allowed in your establishment and what capacity you're currently at. This allows for them to decide, put them in charge of if they want to go in there and make making social distancing decisions based off of their comfort. And this lets people on the street know that they can safely enter. So that way you don't lose that foot traffic. We're a big tourist community. So foot traffic for our downtown businesses and businesses in Savannah in general is definitely a big part of how we make our money. So being able to make them feel comfortable from the outside to draw them in is definitely definitely something that benefits everybody else. Another thing that can be used for is management tools. You can make staffing decisions according to the data on the average number of people you have during your hours of operation. So the system will help identify peak lag hours, and also peak times, so you can staff accordingly. So places like gyms and restaurants and other social venues will benefit from an analytic like this the most. And it's even better because this powerful analytic is something that works with, is separated, but works with something that you already have, a standard security camera system if you have a brick and mortar location or a physical location. Meaning in plain English, you can watch over your business while this analytic runs in the background. And if like you guys are like me, I love 2-for-1 deals. So it's a 2-for-1, like who can't be happy for that? We've actually have this in action. I know a lot of people may think that it's just for enterprise companies that like, how would I use it? But it's used on a local level. It's used for small businesses as well. One of our small businesses, of course, I want to shout out our Viking Fitness here in Savannah, utilizes our occupancy tracking tool on their website. So it helps put their patrons in control by allowing them to see how many people are currently in the facility. They chose to display it on their website so that way their patrons can check in the morning, like, hey, there's not a lot of people in here today. I can go get in my quick 30-minute hit. Or if they say, oh, there's too many people now, I can go later. So this has been a huge benefit for them. This has helped the owner keep track of how many people are currently in their facility while empowering new and existing members to visit their gym and be reassured that their safety protocols are being followed. So is anybody else here that's online? I know it's only a few of us, but have you experienced any occupancy challenges in your businesses? And are there anything that you have done differently that you like to share with everybody? Let's see if I can see the chat. Don't really see. Chat. Hey, Kate, is there anything in the chat?
Oh, yeah, you can't see it, sorry. Elena was just saying, she said definitely. Um, there was nothing else in the chat there, but I can definitely say with the Creative Coast, being able to, I mean, because we're not a co-working space, but we're a membership space, and we have people reserve desks, and being able to see that online is definitely beneficial, at least from our standpoint. So I think for businesses that are like retail, I could see that helping them. And I know that we've had lunchtime topics in the past where being able to know, like, even just simple things like store hours online, and companies not updating that have been frustrating for some customers, and they lose customers. So for those that are, really at risk and have underlying conditions, being able to go and look and see what the occupancy level is really helpful. And
Yeah.
Elena, yeah.
I think really is a game changer. Like you were saying, like it is helpful, especially for us, our local community. The fact that we are a tourist focused place, that foot traffic definitely makes a difference. And if you can make it easier for your customers to feel comfortable coming in, then it's almost like, well, why not do that? So the next problem that a lot of our businesses are facing is flexibility of remote working. So 42% of the US workforce works from home full time, according to 2020 report, Stanford University. I have the links to all this stuff, so no fake news here. So I'm definitely happy to share this afterwards. I thought this meme was funny, break up a little bit of this jargon, but I know, especially with us going on year 2 of remote working, you're either professional, from the top up. Currently, I'm in the office now, so no pajama luxury for me. But then, or you're just fully pajama at home. So with a majority of the people working from home now, and for the foreseeable future, a lot of small businesses are having trouble adjusting and managing their office off premise. So what's the solution for that? Being able to monitor whenever and wherever is going to be key moving forward from 2020 and on forward. Almost twice as many employees are working from home as at a workplace. So it's a trend that's not likely to change. So I apologize, but if you're in a restaurant or hospitality or retail industry, which is pretty much all of us here, kind of, you don't have the luxury of working from home. So having remote access is a tool that you should definitely consider, because it's hard to be in 2 places at once, but having remote access keeps you agile. You can manage door schedules and permissions for essential employees, or even delivery workers or cleaning staff without being there in person or to hire an expensive hourly guard. And we don't need more expenses right now. We need things that are working for us and with us. All of these permissions are handled through an app and can be even reinforced with a camera system for better eyes on your business. Another problem that we have is just because the fact of, like, we all can talk about it now, maybe not laugh about it because we're still in the middle of it, but we were all hit hard and unexpectedly thrown into a world where we had to adapt and overcome just now. So one of the things that our late and great Stephen Hawking said is intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. So with us having to digitize, having people to digitize, not having the budget or not being prepared to doing it, this has been kind of a hindrance. However, it's not something that's new. There's so much to be said about automation that you've probably read at least 1 or 2 articles about the gloom doom of the Industrial Revolution, or for me and other Will Smith fans, the iRobot era, where they tend to take over and artificial intelligence is going to take over our way of life. But we all have a fear that machines are going to replace humans and lead to mass unemployment. But in reality, the future of work is less a question of humans versus robots and more of humans and technology working together for a more productive future. So in other words, it's repetitive tasks tend to go on autopilot and will be completely reserved to artificial intelligence. And that leaves us time, like just like people like you, myself, everybody on here, and people that are watching afterwards, it leaves us time to work on things that only we can do, which is critical thought, creativity, and just compassion for the overall human in general. And that right there is something that cannot be replicated by artificial intelligence. So how are businesses becoming more automated and adaptable? They're utilizing access control. A lot of people tend to think that access control is just for big businesses, like enterprises such as like the Google and Facebook. And though those are definitely true, our small businesses, they are able to use it now. It's just becoming a really bigger thing, because now there's a need for small businesses to have access control. So with the need growing, it's something that was already out there. We're just here making it available to you as well. This allows you, with access control, it allows you to enforce capacity limits, and this allows you to automatically deny additional entries once a space reaches capacity. So the workplace is no longer a traditional setting moving to future-proof offices. You need to eliminate on-premise systems. You'll know who's at your office, where they are within a space, and how long they've been there. And this is important for fast, reliable contact tracing right now, and can help you streamline your business to reduce operating costs altogether. So even though on-site systems are offered web-based access control, they will require more in-person maintenance, and they're not that equipped to handle the changing nature of a remote workforce. By having cloud-based access control platforms, you enable yourself to be able to manage everything from anywhere, including any software upgrades that need to go on the cloud. So this not only makes it more convenient for the business owner, administrator, or office manager, but it also ensures that you're running the most up-to-date security software for your business and to protect your patrons and your people that work for you as well. So a web-based access control system that runs in the cloud will be more adaptable to connect with other systems and are a more efficient platform overall. Another thing that we have been implementing for not just businesses, but you have not just, like office management, but retailers and restaurants and gyms have been using it, is implementing touchless solutions. The health and safety of all employees and people, we all can say, is at the forefront of any organization, leader, or person that's in the building, because when it comes to reopening a workplace or communal building. So reducing common touch points is suggested not just by health authorities, but we just know the less stuff you touch, the less germs are spread. So this helps for a healthier space and reduce the transmission. But this also presents added challenges for certain organizations, because there's so many high touch points that we have around. We have our door handles, light switches, elevator buttons, pretty much anything that has a knob or people have to go in and out of is a high touch point. So when it comes to returning to work safely, eliminating the need to make contact with those common touch points are going to create a more hygienic environment for everyone. And it's also going to help provide peace of mind for those employees and the business owners that don't have the luxury of staying home. They have to go out to work because that is their job. I do have a little video here just to show you this stuff in action. Mind you, you're going to see a little bit of touching because it's one of our manufacturers and they use it for bigger clients. But like I said, these are things that small businesses now have access to be able to use, that you can reduce and go fully hands-free altogether. So Kate, if you could let me know if you can hear the audio, I'm going to press play.
Yep.
Okay, great. Cool. And it still did. So I know that may seem like it is meant for enterprises and just big businesses, and not all of us have gate arms that we need to go in and out of. But the reason why this is such a great solution for small businesses, or just smaller entities in general, is the fact that if you have a door, you need access control. Like, there's no way around it. If you have a door, if you receive deliveries, having access to be able to let your delivery man in while you're either tied up, not able to be there, is a great thing to be able to do from your mobile app. As we saw in the video, he was able to use their Apple Watches. Like, who doesn't like to be, not only is it just helpful in security and as well as technology that helps you reduce touch points, but we all like the technology feeling off super gizmo gadgety and being able to swipe with our watches. I have Apple Watch here, and being able to use this to get into our office door, it makes everything a lot easier. If you have a handful of stuff, let's say you're bringing stuff into the office, or coffee, donuts, or any other products that you're bringing into, your hands are filled, being able to use something to swipe that keeps you convenient and safe is definitely a benefit for everybody. So there's this technology here. I've been saying it's nothing new. It's something that we have already been using. It's just now receiving a lot more attention because we're able to, because there's a need for it. There's more of a need for it, and more small businesses are able to utilize it even in their small spaces. You might not need a full system that's going to cover every single thing, but you at least have two doors, an exit and an entry into your business. And this right here is something that can help you not only keep your business safe, but your employees and the patrons that work for you and trust in you in your business, to have them feel safe and know that you're in control of the situation. So in an increasingly Internet of Things connected world, mobile technology is leading the pack in adaptability. In a time when businesses are being forced to pivot and make changes quickly, it's essential to have building systems in place that can scale up or back at the drop of a hat. There's so much uncertainty moving forward, but what you can know is that something, using technology that's going to grow or even shrink with you, is something that you have to look for. And no longer are we just using something that's just going to fix a problem right now. You want something that's going to fix the problem today and be there for you tomorrow when the next one comes up, as it always does. So our mission at scDataCom is just to bring technology tools to our customers to provide them with a competitive edge that allows them to flourish. We can all agree that running a business is hard, and it's a very cutthroat competition. We all know some businesses fail, some succeed. It's just Darwinism right there. But they don't favor intention. So for those that work hard and get beat every day by people that work smarter, and that's where we come in. We provide surveillance and inventory for people and managing access to restricted areas, even providing analytics specific challenges for the problem we're in right now, the COVID-19, the pandemic era. We offer technology solutions that can help many businesses manage risk and restrictions that COVID has placed on us. We might not be able to get you back to work to normal, but we might not be able to get you back to work to normal, but we can definitely help you get back to work. However, this is now a time to disrupt everything that we're doing that's not working. We need to do things, use technology that's going to help both support in-person and off-premise collaboration that helps foster creativity. So that's all I had. I know I tended to rush through it a little bit, so I'm here to take any questions and elaborate on everything I've said. But I do appreciate you guys sticking through it with me. And as like I said, scDataCom, me here specifically, if you're a small business and you just want to see how any of this can work for you, any of this new technology can help you be more efficient, we don't have a one size fits all. We sit down, we talk with you, and we see what's happening here and how do you want to move forward. So that's it, all I have here. I'm Destiny. And I just think I can close off.
It was great. Hey, I have some questions.
Okay.
So first of all, I'm thinking especially the occupancy the occupancy tracking. I just think of how valuable that could be for so many businesses just post-pandemic in general too. And I think you mentioned this, but like bars, I still see, bouncers out there with a clicker in their hand tracking the number of people coming in and out. And I feel like they could really use something like this to, I'm assuming it does real-time tracking, so they could look at it and know, like, okay, the fire marshal's gonna come in if we don't limit who else can enter. Is that right?
Yeah, no, definitely. This is actually a perfect thing for any of our social venues, like bars, our restaurants, our retailers. Like, it is helpful and it definitely works on enterprise level for offices. But for Savannah specifically, to get downtown and our businesses back to work, this is something that I would consider definitely very needed. And yeah, you can have the person out at the front, and we're not trying to take anybody's job, but maybe they can be used to do something more useful. And this occupancy tracker, our occupancy estimator, it's real time, in and out. It's hard to have clicking, and then it keeps in track. Like, if you do have the fire marshal that just shows up and, like, show me your data, and then sometimes I know they might have a habit of asking a random employee how many people. It's something as easy as your employee being able to either pull it up on the computer or pull it up on their mobile devices and saying, like, hey, I have 12 people here, and they can say it reassuringly, knowing that that data is accurate. So we encourage our bars and our restaurants and other retail establishments that use it, if it's just to get the fire marshal off your back. But it's more so it's data that you can use to help you grow, and then also make adjustments. We're all making adjustments and we're all adapting. So it's just one of those tools that help you adapt quicker and streamline that process.
Got it. So my question is, for those types of things, say you're having an event and you want to track the names of people coming, or maybe just like you have a space and you want to track who's coming in and out. Does it track, can it be enabled to track names as well, and emails or things like that? Any kind of like login data? Is that possible?
So with the occupancy estimator, that's just going to focus on the people coming in and out, counting, adding, and subtracting people. However, with access control, like let's say at a creative coast or even a workspace type of setting where the people that are going to be coming in and out, you give them credentials so you can see when they're coming in and out. You know who exactly. You could tell, say Jane Doe came in March 7th at 2 p.m. and she left March 7th at 3:30. So with access control, we do have that ability for you to be able to track who all went in there. So in case of an outbreak and you need to be able to say who all came in contact, you're able to say, hey, this many people, these people came in through this time period, and you can give that over to health officials, or just keep it for, like, you have it for yourself to say, hey, we need to contact these people and let them know. So it's definitely a possibility. Even with guests, you have ways that you can send your guest a link to be able to access in and out, so you can keep track of who's coming in, whether they're a member or a person that works in the building, or if they're just a visitor. There's ways to keep track of them. So yeah, not with occupancy estimators so much, but definitely with access control, you can do that.